Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Tom's Corner, where you can hear the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now that we got that out of the way, an individual had texted and asked if I was the pastor of the Mount Olive Church, and the answer to that is no, I'm not the pastor of Mount Olive. And I didn't know which Mount Olive referring to, and I'm talking about possibly the Mount Olive up on top where the prison's at. So no, I'm not. There's other places around here that do classify themselves as Mount Olive. Okay, now that I said that, and by the way, thank you for the nice comment that you had given me. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going into this topic today. The title of our lesson is this: Be wise in choosing your friends. Okay? Be wise in choosing your friends. Now, let's see if I can go through this quickly. Hopefully, I will be able to. Most people know the story about Absalom, David's son, through trickery, took over David's kingdom. We know that. And he and others, like himself, sought to kill David. Got to understand, in the beginning, everybody lovey-dovey and loved him, okay? But because of this, David had to run. Because why? Because Absalom wanted to take over the kingdom. He stood by the gate and he told people, if I was the king, I would do this for you and I would do that for you. In other words, subtly tricking people and doing it just like Satan would do today and when he talks to you. Now, those that were loyal in David's army stuck with him. There are a few people out there through thick and thin will stand by you. Although, if I could count people that I could 100% truly trust, I don't think I could get any more than what's on my fingers. Okay. David was on the run. He could not trust anyone. Those that at one time claimed to be his friend now turned against him. Now, here's something that you need to know. That you need to go back in there and you'll read about David. A couple of fruitcakes in there were even going on spitting at him and were throwing rocks at him and his army. And David just told them, just leave them alone, leave them alone. And that's the way it is today. When things go down for you and you're going through trials and tribulation, nobody knows who you are. I have a slogan that I've always said all my life: never kick a man while he's down. If you're going to kick him, let it be even Steven, okay? Don't wait till he's down and then go to ragging him and kicking him. All right, now that we said that, let's go on. Now, a lot of people that followed Jesus in his time, now listen very carefully, they were only in there for what? They were there for the fishes and loaves, what they could get gain out of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You remember the story, fishes and loaves. Now, these are called fair weather friends. And did you know that Hitler in his time indoctrinated school children? Now, I'm changing the subject a little bit, but this is very important. Do you know that Hitler in his time indoctrinated school children through the school system to turn their parents in if they spoke against Hitler? Do you remember that? Study your history and you'll find that out. So what am I saying to you now? I'm saying what's going on today is brainwashing in our school systems. And it's a purpose thing that they're doing that for, because literally it dumbs them down. That's one. And if they can do this in the school, then what they're doing is brainwashing them, and they seem to be doing a great job, okay? Now let's go on. Now that we changed that over, but we're still talking about meaningful topics. Now, remember, the children are wards of the state. Did you know that? Your children are not your children. They're owned by our government, USA government. And you're looking at me, well, how can that be? Well, you wouldn't slumber and sleep, you'd find out about these things. Some people say, I'm not going on in no YouTube because I go in there, I don't want to hear that crazy stuff. Well, you're watching the stupid news media, 3 different channels lying to you like a rug every day. You're sucking it in like a sponge and you believe it. Use this. God gave this to you. And you're supposed to be using it. And I will tell you something else. When you stand before God, if you make it, if you stand before God, God will flat dab wear you out on the fact that you got so stupid and ignorant that you refuse to use what God gave you. Gave you a mind, use it. Okay? Also, it's just like people are going on like nothing's going to happen. The world's going to change, people. And when it does, look at this. Flip. Just that quick. Just that quick. You will one night go to sleep. Next morning you wake up, it's a whole different world. Different rules to that world. And you're not going to like it. Okay. Now, the wards of the state, even today, a ward of the state shall mean a minor. I want you to listen to this very carefully. A minor under 18 years of age who is under the legal custody of his state or subdivision of the state, a minor placed in foster care in accordance with applianceable state law. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Our formal president stated the children belong to the government. Did you not hear that? You didn't? Well, apparently you're not watching the news at that time. Our last president, okay? He definitely said they're not your children, they're ours. And because they're the government's children, they can raise them any way they want to. Now, when your child is born now, they must have a social security number. How many of you know or remember the time that you didn't need a social security number till you started to work, which is 18, correct? But that's been outlawed a long time ago. Now, remember, when your child is born now, they must have a social security number. They teach you now in school. Now, listen to this very carefully. We're going to talk about raw corruption. It's done purposefully, or not purposefully, but purposely. Okay? Now, listen to this. They teach you now in school, you should be ashamed of your whiteness. Now, here's the problem. When they say whiteness, what do they mean? Are they determining our lineage? Or are they just because we're going down the road and our skin's a little bit white? Now, you got to understand, black people, there are some that have skin that's just as white as I do, just as white as you do, degrees of tan lineage, you know, some golden tan, some on down to black. Okay, I will tell you this. The Somalis now, we've all heard nothing about stuff. You know what? You ever look at them people? They're beautiful people. Beautiful people. It's just like they're so delicate and beautiful, you just want to run up and hug them. But man, they are so corrupt. Crying out loud. If you cut them loose in America, man, they will own you. They were really pushing. They were organized people. And here's the problem with them, though. They will not simulate in our country. We have ethnic Germans, French, Spaniards, Lord, I don't know how many people. Lithuanians, the whole deal, Russians, the whole deal. When they came over, and Italians, they came over, they simulated into our what? Our government. They had to study the things of our government and all that. Now, you can yammer off in your language all you want. You can declare Sharia law in your neighborhood, and then we don't do anything about it. But I'm going to tell you something. Now, I thought about this last night, early this morning while I was getting this together. to, how shall I say, to the black people. You're not black. That's the whole problem. You're chanting about black power and all this. You're actually not black. And I'm going to prove it to you. Only ones that are actually black. Now look at my hands. See the palm of my hands? If your hands, and you're a black man, and your palm of your hands look like this, white, I'm just saying figuratively speaking, white. Bottom of your feet, white. Guess what? You have white blood in your veins. Now you say, oh, I didn't know that. Well, you don't watch things and learn things. I try to keep up on everything coming and going. Knowledge means something. Words mean something. Now here's the thing. Running around trying to prop yourself up as a black man and all this and that, and we've been run over and we've been done wrong. You got white in you. You ever watched the Jeffersons on TV years ago? What does the name Jefferson mean to you? Was there a president one time named Thomas Jefferson? Well, he had some white women, and they took on the name Jefferson. Okay. Now, remember what I said. Only way you can find a true black man is you go in a deep part of Africa, almost where no man's been, and then you'll see the palm of his hands and feet jet black like his skin, okay? All right. Enough is said about that. I hate people, what they call pulling a race card. Woe is me and all that. Look, I'm from West Virginia. You know what we are? We're hillbillies. Do you see a hillbilly jumping up and saying, we want a monument to our hillbilly? Huh? Do we want a monument? Yuck, no. Do we care what you say? Yuck, no. We don't care. But man, when we're black, we're so touchy. Don't say that N-word about us because we're better than that now, but yet one another calls one another. What's going on, people? And any time that I see on the news that they get in a corner, we're talking about a lot of black people, and I'm not a racist person. I've had a lot of friends. I grew up with Puerto Ricans. I grew up with Germans. I grew up with black people from the South and so forth. Hey, when I went to Cleveland as a young child, 9 years old, 9 and 10, did you know they beat the crap out of me? Tried to, anyhow, because I didn't speak the language of a Buckeye. I spoke hillbilly. Hey, I did. I had to fight my way through that. Because I didn't know that my vocabulary had accent to it. I didn't know that I was speaking wrong, but boy, they sure did. I should get angry and say, well, they pick on me because I'm a heathen boy. Yeah. Oh, God. This world's going upside down, okay? Let me go on. I'll try to shorten it here. Okay, now, they teach it out in school, you be ashamed of your whiteness. Oh, Lord, and believe me, I will tell you this. That's happened. We know for a fact that a young lady, we're not talking about a little tiny child, a young lady went home and told their grandmother that they're ashamed I'm ashamed that I'm a white. And naturally, she looked at her, who told you that? I'm not ashamed I'm white. In fact, I'm going to be truthful with you. I'm not white. Huh? Hey, I'm not white. Let me tell you why I'm not white. My lineage comes from Asher. Asher is a Jewish tribe, and the Jewish people basically have kinky, curly hair, and they're dark skinned. Follow the lineage. Our people have been here for thousands of years and migrated here. So truthfully, hey, do I get all wound up about it? No. I mean, let's go on. Now, here's something else. And that it is not wrong for someone to play with your rectum. That's what they teach in school. I'm being very kind, people. Huh? Come on. They get explicit in them little kids in school. Oh, it's okay. It's not okay. Not okay. If they're going to do that crazy stuff, leave them alone. Let them grow up, make the choice for themselves. Don't push it on them. Now, even our so-called judges can't tell you what a woman is. Man, if you can't tell what a woman is, you're in deep trouble. We don't need them kind of judges. And our so-called men have become feminine, haven't they? Okay, let's go this way. Years ago, the masculine men, all that deal, come out there and, and they rode them motorcycles and stuff. But here's a problem with them. They wouldn't wear no T-shirt underneath. They wanted you to see their hairy chest. And also they had a little gold chain around their neck. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what that is? When I see that, I point that person out and I say, he's a pretty boy. He's just out there trying to get him a girl, and everything he thinks about doing that makes him a girl. Don't make him a man. Don't make him a man. You know what a man is? Man, someone works hard, takes care of his family. He doesn't lie to people. He goes by his own word, and he stands up and honors his word. People don't get married anymore, and because they don't get married, they don't make a commitment. That means they're worthless. Sad to say. No, God don't even approve of that, okay? And it's okay for little children to go to school in a little doggy suit and act like a dog. I'm going to nip that trash in the bud right now. Here it is. Here it is. Listen. When adults get together and dress like animals, all right, now listen carefully, and they do it to be able to commit sexual acts. Are you following me? And in those costumes, listen carefully, this is a prelude to bestiality. That's all it is. He goes around like a little horsey, clumpy, and whip, and then they have a little sex. It's all the prelude to bestiality, people. And listen to me on this. That stuff's coming up real soon. Real soon. Then what are you going to do? Huh? Okay, let's go on. I'm just about done. Now, in the world today, here it is. Be wise to your choosing of friends. And be wise of choosing your friends for your children. Most people are followers, especially even when they're real young, they're about all followers. So when some clown comes up to you and said, it ain't too bad if you want to wear that doggy suit to school or something, they follow the leader, people. Not only in that, but other things too, okay? So what I'm saying is, you need to watch who your friends are, and you need to watch who your children's friends are, because if you don't take care of your children, they're going to grow up like I just read. God bless. I'll see you the next trip.